Have you found yourself? Do you know who you are? Do you know what your purpose is in life? Outside of your children, are you a separate person? Outside of your mother, your father, your sister, brothers, outside of your baby daddy, outside of your boyfriend or girlfriend, do you know yourself? Do you know who you are? Have you even gotten to know yourself? Have you ever lived alone? Or have you always stayed with somebody? Do you know what you like? You know your favorite music? Do you know what you like to do? You ever been to a symphony? You ever been to a jazz festival? You ever been to a jazz lounge? You ever been to a rock and roll bar? You know, karaoke bars and stuff like that. What's your favorite art? Have you even thought about your favorite art? What's your favorite curtain colors? What's your favorite furniture? You ever thought about it? What type of bed do you like? What type of crowd do you like to hang around? You like a classy crowd? Upper class crowd? Down to earth? Do you like fishing? You like hunting? Have you gotten to know yourself? Or have you always devoted your time to other people? Do you like being alone? Do you like being by yourself? Have you ever been by yourself long enough to know whether you like being by yourself? Do you know your own thoughts? Or do your thoughts get the best of you? Have you dealt with your trauma? Have you dealt with your addictions? What are you addicted to? Are you argumentative? Do you complain a lot? Do you make people responsible for your responsibilities? Do you know how to handle problems? Do you know how to handle issues on your own, just by yourself? What do you know? What do you know of yourself? What have you done to figure out who you are in this life? Have you always lived with somebody? Have you ever spent more than a year living by yourself? Or did you move out, move in with a boyfriend or girlfriend, had a child, and now it's you plus one, or you plus 2 and 3 if you got 2, 3 kids or something like that, or you plus a boyfriend, or you plus a girlfriend? Have you ever taken the time for yourself? When's the last day in a week that you spent by yourself? When's the last time you took a weekend and just been to yourself? Nobody. Didn't call nobody, didn't reach out, didn't answer the phone. You took time for yourself. When's the last time you got a massage and, went and sat down and spent the whole day without seeing about somebody else or somebody having to see about you? Do you know yourself? Have you taken the time for yourself? Do you ever send your kid off with your baby daddy so that way you can just be you again for once? That you haven't done in God knows how long? Go out there and deal with your child. Go out there and you deal with our son. I got to be there for me. Vice versa. Man, when's the last time that you didn't have to see about somebody? See about your mama. When's the last time you didn't have to see about your baby mama? When's the last time you didn't have to when's the last time you only just called in the morning, hey, how y'all doing, and called at night and say, have a good night? Or have you always had to see about somebody else? Have you always had to be there for other people? Do you know yourself? Have you figured out who you are in life? There's a lot of us that don't even know ourselves no more. Never got to know ourselves at all. Never gotten to know who we was. We've always had somebody around who helped define for us who we were. They gave our life definition outside of just us defining our life for ourselves. Never have we taken time just for ourselves, just for you. Nobody else. You ever just went and sat down and ate, had dinner by yourself? You ever been to the rooftop bars and just sat down and ate? You ever took a boat ride and just sat down and just enjoyed yourself by yourself, nobody else? What do you do? Where's your favorite place to travel? Do you know yourself? Do you know your purpose? Do you know if you like yoga? Do you know if you like taking long walks? Do you know if you like to go to parks? And do you know if you like to plant plants and grow food and things like that? What do you know about yourself? Or is just your life just this endless reel where you just going and going and going and going and going? Are you 30, 35? Are you 40? Are you 50? And you still haven't taken time for yourself? You still don't know who you are? A lot of us don't know who we are. A lot of us struggle in relationships with family and friends and girlfriends and boyfriends because we ain't took time to know ourselves. How can you be any good to anybody else and you don't even know yourself yet? You've been going through a breakup and you still existing for other people. Do you ever pick a day, just one day out of the week, just for you? Nobody else. You don't go see a sister. You don't go deal with somebody else. You don't go sleep with somebody. You don't do anything but just tend to you. You didn't have to call nobody. You didn't have to check in with anybody. If you got a child and they with the other parent or they with your sister, somebody babysitting, you can just make that call one time. Hey, checking on you, see how you doing. And then the nighttime come, hey, I'm just checking on you, making sure you're good. You have a good night. And then the next day, you start your life back with those people that you have in your life. But do you have a life outside of everybody else? Do you have a life for yourself? Have you ever considered having a life for yourself? Have you ever considered being on your purpose? Do you like going to the gym? Do you know what type of workouts you like? Do you like running? Do you like lifting weights? Do you like calisthenics? Have you ever tried any of those things? You don't know anything about yourself. You've never done anything. A lot of us have never done anything for ourselves to even know who we are, know what we like, know what we like to do. You so caught up in life and caught up in just emotions, going through the motions of your life. You never took time for yourself. And then you wonder why you can't get along with nobody because you ain't never got along with yourself properly. You can't even spend one day by yourself, just by yourself. This is why I said in the previous video, live by yourself for a while. Get to know what you like. This is why you have nothing sacred that you hold in your household. You don't even know what type of art you like. You just buy pictures that you think is nice, and then you throw them away when you move. There is nothing in your house that you hold sacred. And it's like, that's mine, and that can't go anywhere. You have nothing inside of you that says, this is unique to me, and I need this. It'll kill you if you didn't get time for yourself. This is why it's good to spend time with yourself, getting to know yourself. You always got to call somebody to be there beside you because you can't stand yourself. Have you ever learned to ignore your trauma and the pain you've dealt with in life and just get to know the good things about you that you like? Sometimes what you think is loneliness is just peace, that you can't handle peace. You can't handle being at peace because your mind is so chaotic that peace to you translates as loneliness. Peace to you translates as being alone and having nobody. You're a threat to yourself because you never got to know yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to know what you like before you get in another relationship. Stop jumping in with people before you get to know the type of person that you are, so that you can be a better person for the people around you because you're a better person for yourself. This shit deep. And it's deep getting to know yourself. And a lot of us have never gotten to know ourselves. We never lived alone and just dealt with our demons, dealt with ourselves, dealt with our pain and our issues, and learned to put it away and learn to find things about ourselves in life that elevate us. That's why we be so low vibration. You moody, you argue, you always got an attitude, you always sarcastic and you feel some type of way. You always up and down and people can't really get along with you and you blame them because you ain't got to know yourself. Stop blaming other people. Get to know yourself. Get to know what you like. When's the last time you spent 2-3 days just by yourself? Nobody else, nothing else. You don't even know what you like. You don't even know what you like to do. You don't even know what you like to do. You don't even know where you like to go. You don't have a thing that's exclusive to you that you do for you on a weekly basis. You need you. And you keep forgetting about you. And you keep letting that little child that suffered so much when they were younger and dealt with so much pain suffer. You keep letting that child suffer. You owe yourself the biggest apology. Find a picture of yourself when you was a child. Find a picture and just look. And look at who you are now and say, did I do right by that kid? Did I do right by that little innocent boy who needed somebody? Or that little innocent girl who had nobody? Or that kid who was taken advantage of, misused, mistreated, abused? Have you ever done right by that kid? That kid that was afraid and nervous, called a lame, called a sucker, called every damn thing but a child of God in the book. Young men who are finding themselves scared to fight, scared to face the world. Have you ever done right by that kid? Done right by that person? Do you owe everything to your children and your boyfriend? And do you owe everything to your mama and your sister? Or do you owe more to yourself? Where are you at in your life? Get to know yourself. Truly get to know yourself. And if you ever get an opportunity to live alone and be alone, this is your greatest opportunity to get to know you. Don't waste it. You ain't getting no younger. You owe it. You owe it to yourself.